Imagine your love life is going smooth for once, and then one random day you overhear your crush saying, "Yeah, I hate men." Brother, emotional damage unlocked. And that is where this anime decides to ruin everyone's peace. 3 years ago, we meet Futaba Yoshio, a girl who loudly announces to the world that she hates boys. Like, really hates them. No reason, no trauma, just vibes. Feminism DLC unlocked early. But anime being anime, the one boy she falls for is Ko Tanaka. Short, skinny, awkward, socially nervous, and clearly built like a background character. And yet those eyes. Yeah, anime girls fold for eye contact faster than Wi-Fi on low battery. One day, Futaba and her friends are playing hide and seek with Ko's group. And because rom-com logic never fails, Futaba somehow hides in the exact same spot as Ko, silently, without him noticing. "Sir, how unaware are you?" They're sitting super close, and Futaba starts noticing his smell. And, let's just say her brain stops working. Yes, that reaction. Anime really said, we're not even pretending anymore. When Ko finally turns around, boom, zero personal space. Face to face. Heartbeat at 300 BPM. Why does this never happen to us? Because we're the audience. That's why. Both of them panic, freak out, get caught, and lose the game. But congratulations. Romantic tension has officially started. From that day on, they keep making eye contact like they're in a staring contest sponsored by Destiny. One rainy day, Ko lends Futaba his hoodie so she doesn't get soaked. He casually says he's only worn it once, so she doesn't have to worry about the smell. "Sir, who taught you this, Riz?" "Because it wasn't anime school." Then Ko does something illegal in rom-com anime. He actually asks her out in episode 1. Yes, episode 1. He invites Futaba to watch fireworks at the summer festival. And Futaba, she freezes. Doesn't say yes. Doesn't say no. Girl chose loading screen response. So Ko just smiles and says, "See you at 7 o'clock. Bro walked away like a main character. But of course, peace never lasts. One of Ko's friends sees them talking and immediately starts annoying Futaba, asking if they're dating. Already frustrated, she yells, "No." And this is exactly why I hate boys. Futaba, be honest. Did you really expect Ko to magically understand that you meant, "I hate other boys"? On the day of the date, Futaba still goes to the meeting spot, hoping Ko will come. He doesn't. Pain, suffering, rom-com trauma unlocked. She tells herself she'll explain everything after summer vacation. Spoiler alert, too late. When school reopens, she finds out Ko transferred to another school. Gone. Vanished. Deleted from the server. Futaba keeps going back to the place they used to meet, hoping he'll show up someday. He never does. Fast forward 3 years. Now Futaba is in high school and still emotionally stuck in the past. But she's changed. The sweet, girly Futaba is gone. Now she talks trash about boys, acts rough, dresses sloppy, and does everything possible to scare male attention away. On her very first day, she befriends girls who also hate boys for no reason. Congrats. She joined the Professional Man-Haters Association. Meanwhile, there's Yuri Mecha in her class. Cute, friendly, and actually liked by boys. Naturally, Futaba's new friends refuse to talk to her because anime logic. But deep down, Futaba sees herself in Yuri. Because once upon a time, she used to be just like her too. After class, Futaba bumps into this random boy who instantly activates her middle school trauma memories. Something about him feels way too familiar. Like, suspiciously familiar. Her brain says, no way. Her heart says, that's him. She ditches her fake friends, finally, character development, and runs after him. She searches the school like she's in a side quest, and finally sees him turn around with a smile. For one glorious second, Futaba thinks that smile is for her. Plot twist, it's for his friends standing right behind her. Secondhand embarrassment hits harder than rejection. But fate isn't done bullying her yet. The next day, she sees the same mysterious boy again, and he lives near her house. Of course he does. Anime geography only has one neighborhood. There's something about him. Cold eyes, silent aura, that hidden Riz. Man doesn't talk, but his face says, follow me. And because she's the main heroine with zero survival instincts, she follows him. They end up at the same shrine where Ko used to meet her in middle school. At this point, even the audience knows what's coming. Her heart is pounding. She wants to say his name, but can't. That's when he finally speaks. My name isn't Ko anymore. Sir, don't do this dramatically. He says his name is Mabuchi. Futaba immediately goes into denial mode. Nope, must be someone else. Fake Ko, DLC version. But Mabuchi confirms it. Yes, it's him. The boy she's been thinking about for 3 years. Only now, he went from cinnamon roll to ice prince real fast. Turns out his parents divorced, he changed schools, and now he uses a different last name. Life really said, character development, but make it painful. Futaba is stunned by how much he's changed. Mabuchi even scolds her for not recognizing him earlier, then casually says, I could give you a big reunion hug if you want. And Futaba? Instant panic, because anime girls have a strict no-hug policy until at least episode 9. She refuses. Mabuchi shrugs and says he gets it. After all all, he says, "You hate boys, right?" Oof. Direct hit. Finally, after 3 years, Futaba clears everything up. She blurts out that he's different, that she never hated him. For one tiny moment, hope flickers in her eyes, and then Mabuchi destroys it. He admits he used to love her, but those feelings? Gone. Archived. Deleted. They both changed too much. And just like that, he walked away, leaving Futaba frozen, crying, and emotionally shattered. Absolute emotional damage. The next morning, Futaba goes back to her old act. She buys ridiculous amounts of food in the cafeteria, so boys will think she's gross. Girl really said, "If love won't hurt me, carbs will." But this time it backfires. A cafeteria worker accuses her of not paying. Publicly, loudly, in front of everyone. She's humiliated and even forced to pay twice. And her so-called friends? They don't defend her. They just say, "Don't act like a thief." Wow. Amazing squad, Futaba. Real ride-or-die energy. But then like a cold prince descending from the heavens, Mabuchi appears. He says she did pay. Forces the worker to apologize. Justice served. Futaba thanks him, but Mabuchi isn't done. He tells her she gets influenced too easily by others. And he doesn't like that. Then in peak Sigma confusion mode, he adds, "But it's not my business anyway. I don't really care." Bro, pick a side. Are you her savior or her emotional assassin? Naturally, Futaba is confused. Sometimes he's kind. Sometimes he's colder than Antarctica. But she's not the only one struggling. Yuri, the cute girl everyone avoids, is also having a rough time. She tells the group she's eating lunch with friend from another class. Lie detected. Later, when Futaba goes to pick up grades, she finds Yuri eating all alone outside. Futaba tells her sitting in the cold isn't great. Yuri says she's just enjoying the sunshine. Sure, sunshine. In winter, Futaba notices Yuri's keychain, and Yuri, being her naturally sweet self. Yuri even offers Futaba one of her snacks. She thanks Futaba for talking to her, because apparently every other girl hates her, just for being liked by boys. Yeah, jealousy is one powerful villain. Yuri admits she honestly doesn't understand why people hate her. She's just being herself, and she refuses to change for others. And Futaba? She realizes, ouch, that this is exactly how she used to be before life humbled her. After saying goodbye, Futaba finally accepts the truth. She and Yuri are way more alike than she thought. But before she can fully process this character development, she spots Mabuchi talking to Professor Yoshi, who just so happens to be Ko's older brother. And since this is her ultimate crush, Futaba instantly activates full ninja mode, crouching behind walls, peeking like a detective. Girl thinks she's slick. She overhears the teacher telling Mabuchi that if he wants to stay in the advanced class, he needs to raise his grades. Futaba is shocked. Wait, so this man is cold, mysterious, and smart? Unfair. Later, while carrying class reports outside, Professor Yoshi shows up and helps her instead. While walking, they talk about Mabuchi. Yoshi tells her to be kind to him, because deep down, he's actually a good kid. And then, big reveal unlocked. She learns that Professor Yoshi is Mabuchi's older brother. That's why they look alike. Genetics said copy-paste. Back in class, Futaba's fake friends start teasing her for taking too long. Mabuchi's words echo in her head, but she stays with them anyway. Why? Because she's scared of being alone. But then comes the breaking point. They start trash-talking Yuri again, calling her desperate for male attention. This time, Futaba snaps. She defends Yuri, saying she's not like that. She's just lonely. The fake friends double down, saying Yuri deserves it for being the way she is. And Futaba finally loses it. She tells them to shut up and calls them out, saying they only hate Yuri because she's beautiful and boys like her. Basically, she exposes them as two bitter NPCs with nothing better to do. But then, her fear kicks in. Afraid of being abandoned, Futaba laughs it off like it was all a joke. Classic emotional damage control. And right on cue, Yuri walks in. She pulls an Uno reverse card and calmly asks, "If you really hate me, why are you always talking about me?" Silence. Panic. System crash. The two fake friends instantly blame Futaba and storm out saying, "We're not friends anymore." Futaba technically loses her only two friends. But let's be real, those friendships were already expired. In return, she gains Yuri's trust. Yuri thanks her for standing up for her. But Futaba admits the truth, she wasn't defending Yuri. She was defending herself. At least she's honest. After Yuri leaves, Futaba sits alone. Back where she started. Completely alone. But then like a plot summon, at night Mabuchi appears. She tells him what happened. Even though she's upset, deep down she's glad she finally said what she wanted. But the guilt hits hard. She breaks down crying. As students start gathering, Futaba panics because the last thing she wants is people watching her cry like a rejected background character. Her tears. And then Mabuchi does the unthinkable. He gently pulls Futaba into his arms, covering her face so no one can see her crying. Like some accidental romantic boyfriend DLC just activated. Bro went from Giga Chad to Prince Charming in 0.2 seconds. No update patch, just vibes. Through her tears, Futaba asks if he's just being kind. Mabuchi, still committed to his Ice King role, replies that he only did what he felt like doing. No feelings, no explanations, just mystery. Then he warns her again to stop calling him by his old name. But Futaba can't. If she stops calling him Ko, it's like the sweet boy she once loved disappears forever. And she's not ready for that heartbreak update. When the holidays begin, Futaba tries to fix things with her old friends. She apologizes, not for what she said, but how she said it. She admits those words were her true feelings. The girls accept the apology, but say they can't be friends anymore because she's not like them. And Futaba understands. Sometimes you have to let go of people to grow. Hard truth unlocked. After all that drama, there's only one person she wants to see, Mabuchi. She searches the entire school like she's on a missing person quest. When she finally finds him, she tells him she's starting fresh. No fake personality, no pretending. She'll just be herself. Mabuchi's reaction? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Honestly, give this man an Oscar for most consistent poker face. Then Yoichi shows up and tells Mabuchi it's time to go home for dinner. And Futaba, being Futaba, instantly overthinks. Living together? Same house? Wait, what? They quickly explain they're just brothers. And like every good big brother, Yoichi immediately teases Mabuchi, asking if Futaba is his girlfriend. Mabuchi shuts it down at lightning speed. Never. I'd never date a girl who eats more than me. Sir, what kind of logic is that? Futaba fires back instantly. You said you loved me. And Yoichi freezes. Wait a second. Faba. Yoshio. He's about to say something important, but Mabuchi cuts him off, saying his brother is just flirting with her, and drags him away. And that's when Yoichi finally connects the dots. Flashback. Middle school. He once caught Mabuchi scribbling Futaba's name all over his notebook like a crush gone feral. Bro got caught red-handed. Back to the present. Mabuchi is still dragging Futaba along until he realizes he's the one not letting go of her hand. Instant panic. He freaks out and tells her she can leave if she wants. But this time, Futaba doesn't let go. She holds on tight and tells him to stop being stupid. She deserves to know what really happened. And finally, Mabuchi opens up. He asks if she went to the place they promised to meet 3 years ago. When she says yes, his walls start cracking. He admits he wanted to go too, but he thought she hated him. Then everything fell apart. Fights at home. Drama. And finally, his parents divorce. For a moment, it feels like they're finally reconnected. But after she leaves, we see Mabuchi again. Cold eyes. Empty stare. Still pushing everyone away on purpose. Even Yoichi can't break through those walls. When summer ends, new class assignments arrive. Futaba gets placed with Yuri and also Mabuchi because rom-com gods love chaos. She notices something strange. Mabuchi is kind and gentle with everyone else. But with Futaba, extra spicy attitude. Like she's the only person he's allergic to. Bro is speedrunning the enemies to lovers route at max difficulty. Then the teacher asks for class representatives. And Futaba remember Futaba's promise about a fresh start? Yeah, she actually keeps it and volunteers first to be class rep. Shockingly responsible behavior. Mabuchi joins next, then Yuri, then Shuko, and finally Yui. Boom! Squad of 5 unlocked. Their first big mission? The school trip. Because nothing tests emotional stability like traveling with people who barely tolerate each other. On the way to the station, Futaba goes to pick up Mabuchi. He opens the door and boom. Man is fresh out of the shower. No shirt, no warning, just abs. Futaba's brain instantly blue screens. Meanwhile, Mabuchi casually says he'd never be into her type anyway. Yeah, sure, buddy. And I totally don't rewatch anime openings 20 times. On the way, Futaba realizes she forgot her suitcase at Mabuchi's house. So they sprint back, barely make it to the station, and then disaster strikes. Futaba gets on the wrong train because her mind is still replaying Mabuchi's abs like a slideshow. The teacher scolds them and tells them they'll have to catch up to the group alone. Embarrassing? Yes. Expected? Absolutely. When they finally arrive, Yoichi scolds them too and tells them to apologize to everyone. Shuko is especially mad because her favorite teacher got inconvenienced. And honestly, this squad is pure oil and water. They do not mix. Futaba tries to keep things peaceful, but even Yuri starts showing her weird side, and somehow that makes things worse. During one activity, Futaba can't properly answer a question, so she just writes something vague and hopes for the best. Relatable. But Mabuchi jumps in, improvises on the spot, and saves the group. Futaba is happy because he basically used her idea, but also sad because he's so quick and clever while she feels left behind. Then Mabuchi admits something shocking. He's not as mature as she thinks. Deep down, down, he's still just a dumb boy pretending to be cool. Finally, self-awareness unlocked. Neither of them notices how close they've gotten until suddenly Mabuchi gets nervous. For once. And in that moment, Futaba sees it. The boy she fell in love with years ago. Yeah, he's colder now. More distant. But right now, she doesn't care. Mabuchi suddenly grabs her hand and asks the dangerous question, "Do you still love me?" Silence. Panic. Emotional buffering. Futaba doesn't know. Does she love the Mabuchi from the past or this new Ice Prince version? And just when things get serious, he pulls the classic anime boy move. Relax. I was just asking randomly. I don't love you anyway. Sir. Jail. Futaba fires back with the same line, and boom, both of them sulk for the rest of the day. The denial in this show could power an entire city. Meanwhile, Yuri notices Shuko sticking close to Yui. Yui tells Shuko she should stop clinging to him and spend more time with classmates. He straight up says he can't be anything more to her, his freedom matters too much. Ouch. Classic unrequited love energy. Back on the other side, Futaba is mad at Mabuchi, but deep down, she doesn't want to stay mad. So she goes looking for him, ready to apologize. Plot twist time. She walks in on another girl confessing to Mabuchi. And worse, he's smiling. Futaba's inner monologue goes, wow, must be nice being your real girlfriend. Pain unlocked. Things get messy when some sketchy senior boys corner her. But then Mabuchi swoops in, puts an arm around her, and drops the bomb. She's my girlfriend. Ice Prince with the clutch save. He drags her away and scolds her, but Futaba fires back. If I'm your girlfriend, shouldn't you let go before your real girlfriend gets mad? And finally, truth time. Mabuchi admits he doesn't have a girlfriend. Bro plays hot and cold like it's an Olympic sport. The next day, group activities begin. First mission, following a map to reach different checkpoints. Somehow, don't ask how, the group reaches the first checkpoint, where Yoshi is waiting with their first task. Guess the flavor of some mystery juice. Everyone drinks it and instantly regrets their life choices. Everyone fails. Everyone suffers. Except Shuko. She drinks it calmly, only because Yoshi made it, and boom, she gets it right. Power of simping is undefeated. Later, Futaba tries to lead the group using the map. Nobody listens at all, but thanks to pure anime luck, they still stumble into the next checkpoints like NPCs walking into quest markers by accident. Along the way, Futaba notices Yuri and Shuko whispering and laughing together. She tries to join in, but they brush her off with the classic, "Oh, nothing important." Ouch. Third wheel pain activated. What Futaba doesn't know is that Shuko was actually asking Yuri if she told anyone what she overheard yesterday. Secret. Drama. Incoming disaster. At the last checkpoint, Ya's nonsense behavior makes everyone lose track of the map completely. Navigation skill, 0. They decide to just keep walking and, worst case, camp until morning. Very responsible, definitely supervised. While crossing a river, then it's Yuri's turn. She freezes, terrified of the river. Mabuchi steps in like a knight in shining armor and gently guides her across. Yuri just stares at him, and boom, love triangle alarm starts ringing. Meanwhile, Futaba watches all of this go down. Heart cracked, confidence gone. To make things worse, she's actually hurt her leg, but she hides it because anime girls would rather suffer silently than ask for help. Of course, Mabuchi notices, and without saying much, he carries her on his back so she won't slow everyone down. Futaba feels sad, but also strangely happy. Emotional confusion level, max. A little later, they finally run into the teachers who are searching for them. Crisis avoided, scolding delayed. That night, the girls talk together, and Yuri opens up. She says how happy she is to finally have friends. It means everything to her. She promises she'll never leave Futaba alone, and Futaba promises the same back. Later, Futaba steps outside and finds Mabuchi awake too. They decide to watch the sunrise together. Like a true gentleman, Mabuchi gives her his sweater. She asks if he's cold. He shrugs it off with his usual cool guy attitude. Bro, I'd freeze for her too. No cap. Not wanting her friends to miss out, Futaba runs back to wake everyone up, and together they all watch the sunrise. Simple, quiet, wholesome. After camp ends, it's time to go back. Mabuchi secretly wishes she'd stay longer, but of course, he would never say that out loud. Then, bam, Yuri texts Futaba first. It's all wholesome like, I really enjoyed the trip. And then comes the bombshell. Yuri admits she might be falling in love with Mabuchi. A yes best friend falling for the same guy trope has entered the chat. This shakes Futaba to her core. She knows Yuri is an amazing girl, but she can't pretend her own feelings aren't real. So to cope, she starts telling herself, there are plenty of guys like Mabuchi out there. Spoiler, there aren't. And to fully commit to denial mode, she even starts bad-mouthing him a little. Classic emotional speedrun. Back in class, Yu's trying to win Shuko's heart. He tells Mabuchi not to talk about women like that. But Mabuchi claps back, reminding you that he was the one flirting around during camp. Friendly fire. Critical hit. Then the teacher announces that the class reps need to write a report. And of course, the only two available are Mabuchi and Futaba. Alone together, Futaba immediately gets nervous. Because, let's be real, she likes everything about him. But every time her heart starts racing, Yuri's face pops in her head, and boom, pain. After finishing the report, Futaba tries to escape. She says she'll submit it herself so Mabuchi can go home. For a second, she feels relieved. Then she walks outside and sees Mabuchi still waiting for her. This man didn't just send mixed signals, he invented them. Now Futaba is stuck. Should she follow her heart or protect her friendship? So she does the most anime thing possible. She leaves it to fate. As Mabuchi boards the train, she tells him she forgot something at school. In her head, she makes a deal with the universe. If he stays on the train, she buries her feelings forever. If he gets off, she confesses everything. The announcement plays. Doors are closing. Futaba shuts her eyes like she's gambling her entire soul. The train starts moving. She thinks it's over. But guys, this is a romance anime. Of course it's not over. She opens her eyes, and Mabuchi is standing right there. Yep, he actually got off the train. That's when it finally hits her. She's always loved him. All the denial? Deleted. Now Futaba decides she's going to fight for Mabuchi's love. Her heart is going full drum solo, so she tells him she's not feeling well and asks him to wait a moment. Instead of leaving, Mabuchi brings her water, holds her hand, and asks if she's okay. Bro is accidentally dropping pro-level riz. Futaba feels like she's floating, especially when he casually says, "You smell nice." Sir, complimenting soap and making it romantic should be illegal. But plot twist, Yuri uses the exact same soap. Even though Yuri keeps invading her thoughts, Futaba knows she has to be honest. And speaking of honesty, she suddenly runs into an old middle school friend. Flashback time. They used to be inseparable until one day the girls suddenly stopped talking to Futaba and switched friend groups. Futaba never knew why. Turns out, back then the girl had a crush and told Futaba about it. But rumors spread that Futaba liked the same boy. And when the girl saw Futaba talking to him, she believed the rumors. The truth? Futaba only talked to that guy because he was Mabuchi's friend. She was just trying to get info about Mabuchi. Classic misunderstanding. Anime certified. Thankfully, they clear things up. But this whole thing makes Futaba realize something important. Love can easily tear people apart. That's why she decides she has to confess. But when she gets to school, she sees Yuri and Mabuchi growing closer. Texting, laughing, existing happily. And jealousy hits her harder than a Truck Kuin cameo. Futaba knows Yuri isn't doing anything wrong, but her heart can't handle it. So she runs off to cry alone. And that's when plot convenience kicks down the door. Mabuchi literally sneaks in through a window, covers her mouth so she doesn't scream, and explains his brother keeps nagging him to come home for dinner. Imagine crying over love and a man climbs through your window to talk about curry. Peak anime. Futaba tells him to just go home already. But romance anime laws activate. Mabuchi leans in and says again, "Your hair smells nice." At this point, this man is the CEO of fragrance compliments. Finally, Futaba gathers her courage. She invites Yuri out to eat, planning to tell her the truth. But plot twist, Yuri also invites Shuko because chaos loves company. Shuko's like, "I don't really have friends anyway." Sure, now it's three of them sitting together, and Futaba finally has to spill her heart. And she does. She tells Yuri the truth that she also loves Mabuchi. Futaba braces herself for anger, maybe betrayal, maybe a dramatic slap. But instead, Yuri smiles. She says she understands, because Mabuchi really is amazing. From now on, they'll be rivals in love. But no matter what happens, they'll stay best friends. Respect to Yuri. Honestly. But when Yuri goes to the bathroom, she quietly breaks down in tears. Not because of Mabuchi, but because she realizes how much pain Futaba must have felt hiding her feelings. Respect ×2 for Yuri. Absolute queen behavior. Still in full girl talk mode, Shuko casually drops a bomb. She likes you all, then immediately roasts herself and the group. Honestly, we all have terrible taste. He's probably going to reject me anyway. Elite humor. Zero fear. Later, Futaba spots Mabuchi at the station, but nope, he's not waiting for her. He's just there for a stray cat. Pain. Determined not to give up, Futaba follows him around the city like a side quest NPC. She finally finds him at a plaza, hanging out with some guys. And it feels off because Mabuchi does not look like a random crowd type. When Futaba asks what he's doing there, the guys start throwing weird questions at her. Before it gets worse, Mabuchi grabs her hand and pulls her away. Enough is enough. Futaba corners him and demands the truth, what is really going on with him, and for the first time she snaps. She throws his own words back at him, saying he's the one pretending to be just friends. Mabuchi fires back, saying she's too naive, always believing the best in people. Then he decides to prove his point. He leans in close, acting cold, acting dangerous. Futaba's heart goes insane, but in that same moment, she realizes something. Even when he's pretending to be cruel, he's still protecting her. Tears fill her eyes. Bro is toxic and wholesome. Pick a struggle. The next day, Shuko overhears Mabuchi talking with Yoichi and immediately spills the tea. Apparently, Mabuchi might leave school. He even admits it himself, saying grades don't matter because he's planning to quit anyway. Instant panic. The whole squad is worried, even Ya, who finally stops joking. Ya becomes MVP later when senior punks start mocking Mabuchi, saying he only got into the school because his brother's a teacher. He doesn't hesitate. He yells at them, telling them never to talk about his friend like that. Rare UW. Meanwhile, Yuri is struggling inside. She notices how naturally Mabuchi and Futaba keep gravitating toward each other, and it hurts. Yoichi notices her mood and gently asks what's wrong. Yuri blurts out her worry. Why does Mabuchi want to leave school? Even Yoichi doesn't know the full answer. He says Mabuchi used to trust him more than anyone. He was the only one Mabuchi ever cried in front of. But at least now, Yoichi adds, Mabuchi has amazing friends who genuinely care about him. That's when the squad forms a plan. They'll all study at Mabuchi's place together. The only person who doesn't know? Mabuchi himself. When they show up, he tries to kick them out. Hard. But seeing how much effort they're putting in for him, he finally gives in and joins them. Group therapy unlocked. But not everyone is happy. Yuri can see it too clearly now how perfect Futaba and Mabuchi are together. Even though Futaba is her friend, jealousy slowly eats at her. When Mabuchi leaves the room to grab glasses, Yuri takes her chance. She asks him quietly if he likes Futaba, but Mabuchi is so lost in his own thoughts, he doesn't even hear her. Awkward silence. Then Yuri drops a few things, and just like that, the tension spikes to maximum. Futaba, noticing how long they're taking, walks in only to see Yuri and Mabuchi coming out of his room together. Instantly suspicious anime trope activated, they both panic and shout, "Don't get the wrong idea," which, by the way, is the fastest way to make someone get the wrong idea. Futaba doesn't say anything, but she sees it. That guilt in Yuri's eyes. Something happened. Maybe not physical, but definitely emotional. And that thought? Yeah, it refuses to leave her brain. On the way back, Futaba asks Yuri directly, "No games." After a long pause, Yuri denies it. Says nothing happened, but Futaba isn't convinced. So she pulls a classic ninja Futaba move, pretends she forgot her phone, and sneaks back to Mabuchi's house. Girl really unlocks stealth mode. Before she can snoop around, Mabuchi catches her instantly, with that same unreadable face. He tells her to stop dancing around it, and just say what's bothering her. Futaba out here inventing side quests instead of just confronting her emotions. Finally, she asks him straight up about Yuri. And for once, Mabuchi gives a clear answer. He says if she really wants to know what Yuri saw, he'll show her. That sentence alone almost deletes Futaba's soul. He takes her into a room, and for a second she's nervous, like, wait, what is about to happen right now? But it's not what she imagined. It's his mother's room, or more accurately, her photograph. Mabuchi quietly tells her his mother passed away a few years ago. It wasn't a secret, he just never knew how to talk about it. And suddenly everything clicks. Yuri didn't tell Futaba anything. Not because she was hiding something, but because it wasn't her story to tell. It was Mabuchi's. That realization completely breaks Futaba. She starts crying, and for the first time, Mabuchi gently comforts her. No sarcasm, no walls, just warmth. The air between them feels heavy, soft, and impossible to ignore. Guys, when this man finally drops his guard, my heart simply cannot handle it. And right on cue, because anime timing is evil, Yoichi walks in. Mabuchi has to head to work, so he asks his brother to drop Futaba home. On the way, Yoichi finally tells her the full story. When their parents divorced, Yoichi went with their dad. Mabuchi stayed with their mom. Later, their mom got sick, and because Yoichi had just started his teaching job, he couldn't take care of her. So that burden, something no kid should ever carry, fell entirely on Mabuchi. And that's the one thing Yoichi can't forgive himself for. Bro, I'm not crying. You are. Futaba finally understands. The boy she loves didn't change for no reason. Life forced him to, but she knows the truth. Behind that cold exterior, the kind boy she met years ago is still there. Mabuchi's friends notice he's become even more distant. Futaba goes to his house, but only finds Yoichi. He admits he tried everything to reach his brother, but never succeeded. Futaba thinks, maybe she can, because obviously she's the heroine. She finds Mabuchi at the square, waits until he's alone, and finally talks to him. Mabuchi opens up. He admits he doesn't know how to deal with the emptiness his mom's death left behind. He knows he's changed. He knows it's wrong, but he doesn't know how else to live. As he speaks, he breaks down. They both stumble to the ground, and somehow it's not awkward at all. It's perfect. Futaba tells him he doesn't have to fight alone. She can't replace his mom. No one can, but his friends are there. They care about him. They love him. And the old Mabuchi used to love that too. Right there, his shell finally breaks. Futaba sees him clearly. The boy she fell for. Her heart screams, "Confess now, girl." But of course, anime law says she chickens out at the last second. Classic anime heroine behavior. Courage at 99%, execution at 0%. Later, Mabuchi looks at her and simply says, "Thank you." And somehow that one word hits harder than a 10-page love letter. Futaba is over the moon. She knows it. She cracked open his heart. Like it or not, this man is officially on the future boyfriend track. Things get even better when Mabuchi has dinner with Yoichi in surprise. Their dad shows up too. The three of them eating together after so long completely breaks Yoichi. He apologizes, but Mabuchi stops him. He says none of this was Yoichi's fault. They were just two kids stuck in a broken situation. Their dad adds that their mom would be happy seeing them together like this. They don't need to be perfect. Just starting again is enough. Cue silent tears. Yes, we're crying. The next day, Mabuchi himself suggests they all study together. Character development complete. And guess what? Their hard work pays off. Their names end up on the top grades list. Everyone's hyped because now they can enjoy summer vacation stress-free. Academic comeback, arc successful. While planning, Shuko tells the girls to go ahead without her. Yoichi says he likes seeing her with friends, but Shuko admits that doesn't erase her feelings. Yoichi, smooth criminal that he is, tells her feelings aren't troublesome at all. Sir, illegal levels of kindness. The friends plan their vacation, and Futaba looks back at herself how she once stood completely alone, and now she's surrounded by people who genuinely care about her. When summer vacation begins, the group plans to watch fireworks together. Yuri, determined not to waste her chance, shows up wearing her cutest yukata. When she arrives, both Shuko and Futaba are stunned. Even the boys freeze. Mabuchi compliments her, and Yuri blushes. Watching this, Futaba feels that familiar sting of jealousy. Yep, still hurts. Later, Yuri tells Futaba and Shuko that she plans to confess to Mabuchi that night. When Yuri and Mabuchi finally end up alone, he notices she's struggling to walk. She tried bandaging her toes, but the yukata made it difficult. Concerned, Mabuchi tells the others they might be late and gently helps her bandage her foot himself. And right then the fireworks explode across the sky. In that moment, Yuri confesses. Mabuchi is stunned, but he gently turns her down. He admits he never saw her that way. Yuri's heart sinks, but suddenly Futaba comes running. The moment she heard Yuri was hurt, she got so worried that she missed the fireworks just to be with her. Seeing this, Yuri forgets her pain. She realizes she's found something even more precious, a true friend. Later, as everyone heads home, Futaba walks with Mabuchi. She wonders if Yuri confessed. She wonders what his answer was. Along the way, she notices a poster for the same summer festival they were supposed to attend 3 years ago. Mabuchi sees it too. He asks if she'd like to go with him. Futaba jokes, "Only if it's just the two of us." Mabuchi immediately agrees. No hesitation, no sarcasm. When it's time to part ways, Mabuchi turns to leave, but Futaba stops him. She admits she doesn't want him to go, that she feels safe when he's around. So Mabuchi walks her home, and when he finally leaves, Futaba gets frustrated with herself. Enough waiting, enough fear. She decides that at the upcoming summer festival, she will finally confess her true feelings. No running away, no hesitation. And a season 1. And yes, we are emotionally destroyed, but satisfied.